Welcome back, Stas23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And before I get started, if you like this video, please drop a thumbs up on it. It helps out the channel a whole bunch. If not, thumbs down also works. And if you like knife content and you're not already, smash the subscribe button and that bell notification so you don't miss any of the content. All right, today I have the Bestech Sledgehammer for you, coming in at $52. They have it in a few different variations. You can get it in black and orange G10 with a coated or non-coated blade, or beige micarta and green micarta with a coated or non-coated blade. Let's get some specs out of the way so you can see how big or how small this knife actually is. You have a total length of 7.2 inches, so it's going to be on that medium to smaller size. You have a blade length of right at under 3 inches, but we would call it 3 inches, so it's going to be legal in a lot of areas. Your grip area from the forward part of this choil all the way to the back is 3 1/4 inches, and your handle thickness is right at average from here to here of 0.50, so right at ½ inch. And the thickness the width in the pocket from here to here is 1.09 inches. So it's going to be nice and slim in this dimension as well. And your blade stock thickness is coming in at 0.12 inches or 3 millimeters. And on this forward portion, the straight portion right here, the thickness behind the edge is around 15,000. So it's ground nice and thin, sharpened at 18 degrees per side. And at this tip, at the thickest portion up here at the top is at 23 thousandths, just to give you that extra added strength. Alrighty, before we get into any more, let's break off into some testing footage and let's see how this thing does. Alright, we're going to test the edge. This is the factory edge. Nice and sharp. Still slicing really well. Alrighty, we're gonna cut up a few different materials. We got the two tubing, very dense tubing. This one has mesh in it. This one's just very dense, like water style tubing. And some paracord to see if it still pops paracord. Some 3/8 bungee and some saddle leather. All right, it may have looked like it was struggling a little bit, but it wasn't. It's just because it's a flat edge, so I was having trouble getting, yeah, it's still nice and sharp, getting leverage behind the cuts. I should have set it up to where easier, but hey, you can always set up the cut. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of wood carving, wood shaving, see how the ergos are, and see how well the edge is still biting. Alrighty, I'd say for being a flat scaled knife, it was really comfortable. As comfortable as a flat scaled knife could be. You know, always these edges right here, when you're putting those kind of pressure cuts down onto it, at least my bony hands, it will start to aggravate you. Well, it might not for you, but it does for me. It did bite into the wood very, very well. And let's see, sure it's still nice and sharp. hard to hold on to these with the gloves on. Alrighty, we're gonna do a little bit of copper slicing. This is some old copper jumper cable wire, and then after that we'll do some aluminum round bar striking. See that edge stability. Let's see how it slices. Not too good. That's about as far as I can go. Let's see, maybe I'm all right. Aluminum round bar. Do 3 strikes. That, I don't know if, let's see, let me feel that. I don't know if that's from the strikes or I'll have to rewatch it, but it looks like it might have a small little something. Let's see. You can see where it dulled right up in here from trying to slice through the copper wire. You know, that doesn't surprise me any. And that right there, whatever that is. Let's see how it cuts. So D2 is not my favorite steel in the world. Yeah, whatever that was, I don't know if that's when I was doing the trying to cut this stuff or not, but if you do a fast cut, you don't notice it, but you can feel the edge dulling right up in here where I was trying to slice through. Still a good edge though. All right, we're gonna try to chop through this these 3 copper wires with this rubber mallet. We'll see how it does. It might not do too well because it's not super sharp anymore. But with the sledgehammer name, we gotta test that out. This is abusing your knife, so do something like this. Don't expect warranty to cover it. Sliced a lot better than I expected. I don't see any damage. Just some dulling. You can see the dulling right here and right here. Right there, you can see those little light spots right there. Let's see if it still cuts. Yeah, those are more like some rubbing of the edge because it didn't do nothing to it. And lock up, let's see, it's about 50% or 40% where it was in the beginning. No play left or right, no play up or down. Still functions. There you go. Alrighty, I hope y'all enjoyed that footage. And I think it did pretty well. Let's take a close look at it. You have a satin finish on this D2 blade, Tanto, but it does have a little bit of belly right here, as you can see. Nice thick tip. So if you need to do a little piercing, you should be able to get that done. You have the Bestech logo on this side and the blade steel D2 right there. I think that's nice satin finish on the primary grind and the primary of the Tanto portion as well. and on the flats you have a stone wash finish. You do have jimping up here, but I would say it's a mild traction jimping. I don't really see the need for it. You do have dual cone shaped thumb studs right here for your opening action, which the action is smooth. It's riding on ceramic bearings and a ceramic detent. Comes out with authority. Now, one thing that I have noticed when deploying this knife, the easiest method to deploy it, instead of going up like that, like you do most of them, go straight out like that, and it's a little bit easier the way it's designed. It comes flying out. Those cone thumb studs do sit a little proud of the scale, so you can get to them. You also have this cutout in this forward choil area into the micarta. You have a decorative pivot with the B for the Bestech logo. T8 construction. No, I'm sorry. T8 for the pivot and T6 for the body screws. You have a flow-through construction. 2 hourglass standoffs and a hidden lanyard post back here. I love it that they didn't put an extra hole in there. Flip it around, you have a deep carry, right hand tip up only pocket clip, no lefty love there, and the clip screws have not been countersunk. Good spring to the clip, and I didn't find that this was up too high. It didn't cause a hot spot in my medium-sized hands, but let's take a look at it in the pocket. It sits nicely in the pocket, being that it's kind of thin in this portion right here. Goes in the pocket nicely, and it hugs the side of the pocket, so you have all this extra room and nothing to catch your hand on because there's no flipper tab there. Your stainless steel liners have been skeletonized to reduce weight. While we're talking about weight, let's check it out real quick. First, we'll do it in grams because that's what it starts with. 99.5 grams and 3.5 ounces. So I think that's perfect for a nice little EDC blade. Let's see what else. Oh, they did a perfect job on the sharpening notch right here, cut out. They always do a pretty good job of that. Balance point is about right there, so not bad in the hand. Ergos throughout all the cutting were pretty nice, as good as they'll get with a flat. You know, the scales are just flat micarta on this one. Nice traction. They're not polished or anything. You can really get some nice traction, especially if they get wet. Your stainless steel liners are kind of like a high satin, almost polished finish. The lockup did not change throughout the entire test. It stayed at about 40 to 50%, whatever you want to call that. Let's get some size comparisons, and then we will get my nitpicks out of the way. Another Bestech, you have the Bestech Texel. The Texel is a little bit longer. You have about the same grip area, though, as the Texel and the QSP Penguin. These two are pretty close, if not identical in size and in feeling as far as how the handle shape. Two more. Got the Ontario Rat Model 2, the smaller one. It's pretty much identical in size. It might be a hair shorter than the Sledgehammer. And then you have the CJRB feldspar, the small feldspar, which is also pretty close, but it's a little bit shorter as well. All right. I only have a few nitpicks. You know, before my nitpicks, it sliced really well. It's ground nicely. It was fairly comfortable in hand. I thought it handled everything pretty well, especially, you know, when I did the impact on it, the D2 held up just fine. Bestech seems to do a good job with their heat treatments. And the one thing that bugs me about the knife is my detent. It's not super strong, and it might be, like I said, the way you have to shoot it out this way. But the tops of these cones, being it's kind of small up there, is not the most comfortable. Now, if I could get, like whenever I get down below, it's just not natural like that. It's not bad, but some of the times when I go to flip it out, I don't know if the detent's maybe getting stuck in there or what. Maybe it's a little tight for the hole that it's falling into, but sometimes it doesn't want to come out, and I scrape my fingers over the top of that. My hands are already beat up, so it's not the most comfortable for me. Blade is centered. There's no play in any position, up or down, left or right. It stayed rock solid. So also, there's no lefty love. And the micarta, I'm just going to be honest, it's hideous. It just looks, I don't know. Like, let's see. Here's some good looking micarta on this Kaiser October. That's linen micarta though. Let's see, do I have any here? Here's some nice American canvas micarta. This is green, this is green. See what I'm talking about? This looks so much nicer. Now the feeling to this isn't bad. You do have that kind of furry texture to it, but it's just kind of like a yellowy look, especially if you look at it on the side right there. I'm guessing it's, you know, the epoxy they use or whatever, the resin. But overall, you can get this in G10. I think this is, if you like the looks of the knife and you're not worried about this thumb studs, I'd say pick it up. I enjoyed it. I don't have any major, you know, problems with the edge. Now that we're looking at it under here, let's see. I think there is yeah, right here. That's just a minor, either, I can't really tell. Kind of looks like a roll. Look, you can see the indentions from the wire, but that's it. It still cuts good and it's still sharp. Yeah, it's still got a nice edge on it. So there you go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.